When you struggle with a problem, that's when you understand it. If something is important enough, even if the odds are against you, you should still do it. Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. If you buy a ticket to hell, it isn't fair to blame hell. I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. Life needs to be more than just solving problems every day. You need to wake up and be excited about the future. I think that's the single best piece of advice. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better and questioning yourself. Persistence is very important. You should not give up unless you are forced to give up. I'm not trying to be anyone's savior. I'm just trying to think about the future and not be sad. The first step is to establish that something is possible. Then probability will occur. Really, the only thing that makes sense is to strive for greater collective enlightenment. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better. Keep questioning yourself. Being an entrepreneur is like eating glass and staring into the abyss of death. You want to have a future where you're expecting things to be better, not one where you're expecting things to be worse. There's a tremendous bias against taking risks. Everyone is trying to optimize their ass covering. Good ideas are always crazy until they're not. Most people can learn a lot more than they think they can. They sell themselves short without trying. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. Life is too short for long-term grudges. It's okay to have your eggs in one basket, as long as you control what happens to that basket. Some people don't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is disaster. I wouldn't say I have a lack of fear. In fact, I'd like my fear emotion to be less because it's very distracting and fries my nervous system. It's just mind-blowingly awesome. I apologize, and I wish I was more articulate, but it's hard to be articulate when your mind's blown, but in a very good way. For my part, I will never give up, and I mean never. If something's important enough, you should try, even if the probable outcome is failure. Patience is a virtue, and I'm learning patience. It's a tough lesson. At its heart, wokeness is divisive, exclusionary, and hateful. It basically gives mean people a shield to be mean and cruel, armored in false virtue. Life on Earth must be about more than just solving problems. It's got to be something inspiring, even if it is vicarious. I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. People should pursue what they're passionate about. That will make them happier than pretty much anything else. Constantly think about how you could be doing things better. You want to do things you're passionate about, but also are useful to other people. You should take the approach that you're wrong. Your goal is to be less wrong. Education is basically downloading data and algorithms into your brain. I think it matters whether someone has a good heart. One of the really tough things is figuring out what questions to ask. Once you figure out the question, then the answer is relatively easy. I take the position that I'm always to some degree wrong, and the aspiration is to be less wrong. The most entertaining outcome is the most likely. There have to be reasons that you get up in the morning and you want to live. Why do you want to live? What's the point? What inspires you? What do you love about the future? I think we have a duty to maintain the light of consciousness, to make sure it continues into the future. You should not do things differently just because they're different. They need to be better.